Artificial intelligence solution build is an engineering problem. Artificial intelligence solution adoption is a business problem. Now organizations are in two buckets. One, who were apprehensive about this and haven't moved that fast. The second set of the clients who did embark on this journey in a timely way. Now their concern is more around, how do we scale this? How do we make sure that we are benefiting from artificial intelligence even beyond what we anticipated?
Welcome to StitchStudio's Pilot to Production. In this series, we're interviewing insurance executives, investors, and consultants to hear real stories of how the industry is operationalizing AI in insurance. From carriers and brokerages to technology partners and investors, you'll gain practical insights, implementation strategies, and lessons learned from the leaders driving enterprise-scale adoption, moving from pilots to implementing responsible, predictable, and explainable AI. I'm Karan Mishra, CEO of StitchStudio, and this is Pilot to Production.
Thanks for joining us, Manish. Really appreciate it. For folks that are listening to this, Manish is the growth and innovation leader for insurance at EY, and we're excited to kind of have him here. Manish, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dara.
Of course, Manish. Manish, let's get into it. I'm sure people are excited to kind of hear from you. You have a really interesting vantage point as the growth and innovation leader at EY for insurance. Talk to us a little bit about what are the kind of conversations you're having around AI, since AI seems to be the buzzword today from an innovation perspective. Talk to us a little bit about the conversations you're having in the market and how clients are perceiving this AI wave, if you will.
Sure. Yeah, I think AI is all around us now, right? In the past decade, if November 22nd is when ChatGPT 1.0 launched, world's changed significantly, and it continues to change very rapidly. If you just talk about this paradigm for the past few years, the apprehension that was there about AI, that continues to exist, but in different formats, right? So 2 years ago, if you would be talking to companies about artificial intelligence, you would get any reaction from an eye roll to, actually talking about how do we embrace this. At that point, the fear was more around, hey, we're going to put in a lot of money around this. How do we make sure that we get the return on our investment? Is this real or is this a hype? We've seen a number of technology constructs being established in the past, which have really not proven out. So is this one of those, or is it here to stay? So that was the conversation that was happening 2 years ago. Now things have changed. Now organizations are in two buckets. One, who were apprehensive about this in the past and haven't moved that fast. They're basically now thinking about, hey, have we just missed the train? How fast do we need to catch up? How much investment do we need to make? How do we get the right talent? Talent is in very high demand right now and short availability. So that's one set of the clients. The second set of the clients who did embark on this journey in a timely way, they've set their standards, policies, procedures, got the teams in place and everything. Now their concern is more around, how do we scale this? How do we make sure that we are benefiting from artificial intelligence even beyond what we anticipated, right? The conversations are more around regulatory impact, right? Regulators are still catching up on artificial intelligence and what impact it can make. So how are we making sure that it's in a controlled environment? We have built the right governance policies in place. I think that's where the shift is.
That's interesting, Manish. You kind of categorize clients into buckets, right? You said clients that have sort of adopted AI and clients that have been sort of on the sidelines watching AI adoption. If you had to take lessons learned from clients that have adopted AI and translate it to clients that are sitting on the sidelines wondering if they've missed the boat, what are some of the things you would tell them around what could you do differently as you kind of embark on this journey of AI if you haven't done it before?
Yeah, I think, so let's start with the clients who've not embarked on this journey, right? Who are just getting in. I think it can be very overwhelming. There is a lot to catch up on. But I would say just stay true to the basic principles. Start small and scale fast. I think the biggest problem that I've seen with the adoption of artificial intelligence is everybody's trying to look to solve the biggest, the most hairiest, and the most complex problems in the first. And I don't think with any kind of technology solution available out there, that's the right approach. Especially with something as new as artificial intelligence, I would recommend organizations clearly define a very small problem set. Try to resolve that, try to learn from it, and then figure out the scaling procedure. I think that's definitely something.
That's interesting, right? So as you think about this, you said a few different things there, right? One is go after what I would call high impact, low risk type problems that you're going after. What type of things have you actually seen, particularly the clients that have adopted AI? What kind of problems do you think they're solving for today from an operations or market perspective using AI?
A number of areas. And this would be, I would say, sector agnostic. But if you just think about some of the low-hanging fruits in the operations area, right? Think about call center call summarization. Typically, every call center executive who's taking a inbound call, they have to summarize the conversation, establish some of the next steps, calendarize that. Today, I can do that pretty quickly. I believe post-call summarization takes less than 5 minutes, and you can have AI agents that are building up your calendar, your schedule, and all the next actions that have to be taken. That's one area definitely that organizations are benefiting from. Historically, even machine learning was being utilized to ingest documentation. You remember the days when medical forms and all of the receipts and invoices and everything was being transcribed in a slow fashion, but now AI is doing it pretty fast. So again, in the insurance world, all of this is happening pretty rapidly. Organizations are benefiting from this. And I would say even the agents, whether they're claim agents, underwriting agents, who go through reams of data to be able to make certain decisions, they're definitely benefiting from it.
That's interesting. So as I'm going to shift focus a little bit right away from what people are adopting, because you said something interesting in one of your earlier responses around talent being in high demand but low supply. To me, that's one of the impediments if you think about from an AI perspective. So I think it's a two-part question, right? So part one, how do you think insurers in particular, because our industry has always struggled with the talent issue. How are insurers, or how can insurers sort of solve for that talent problem, which is sort of part one of the question. And outside of talent, are there other impediments in your mind that you would think insurers are going to encounter as they go about AI adoption?
Yeah, so I think talent shortage, you can't just solve for that, right? So talent shortage is, of course, impacting everybody. If you're an insurer, you're a wealth and asset manager, a bank capital market client, everybody is struggling with that. The first thing that I believe organizations should start focusing on is upskilling. Easier said than done. Some of the skills are non-transferable. I totally get it. But recognize this. Artificial intelligence solution build is an engineering problem. But artificial intelligence solution adoption is a business problem, right? So yeah, you don't need a very large team to solve for small issues. Small issues can be solved with a core set of team members, as long as they're partnering with their stakeholders and recognizing what is the business value that they're after. So again, success in artificial intelligence solutions can be small, that can scale fast, or it can be we could aspire to have a very large successful deployment for which you will require a very large team, can continue to get delayed because you don't have the talent. So I would say, try to solve the problem that you can within the capacity that you have and plan for the future.
Very interesting. So sort of take a pragmatic, grounded approach, acknowledging the constraints you have in an industry, not necessarily solving for every single one of them. That's a great point of view, Manish. One final question before we wrap up. For folks that are listening to this, if there was one thing that you would want them to take away from, how do you get AI from pilot to production? What does AI mean in today's landscape? What would that one thing be?
It's not a one part answer. I think, in my mind, it's like you have to have 3 Ps as you think about pilot to production: partner, process, and performance. Let's unpack that. So when I say partner, I mean, don't build AI solutions in a silo. I mentioned earlier, building AI solutions is an engineering problem, but a lot of organizations I've seen who are just focused on building a core set of technology team members and data scientists and AI engineers, and they try to solve the problems by themselves. That'll only take you so far. Partnering with the right stakeholders is going to be critical for the success of artificial intelligence solutions. Process. I'm going to take you, Karan, 10 years back. Robotic process automation.
Yeah.
Right? You know where I'm going with this. We have seen organizations use RPA as a Band-Aid to fix broken processes. And we're seeing that happen again and again with artificial intelligence. You have to optimize your processes first, fix them, and then leverage AI to scale and benefit from it. Third is performance. Out of the gate, I would recommend any organization that is going from pilot to production have very set, clear definition of what success looks like. What are the metrics that you're after? And then try to achieve those.
Very cool. I love the 3P framework. You should think about patenting that at some point. Anyway, Manish, really appreciate it. This has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to our show on YouTube or by following us on LinkedIn. And please consider giving us a rating or a review so it helps others to find our show. Visit StitchStudio.ai to learn more about our applied AI solution built for insurance. See you soon.